about. Okay, let's come back to the markets and talk a little bit more about the earnings outlook here. You have Sunil Rohokale, who is the Managing Director and CEO at ASK Asset and Wealth Management Group, joining us with his perspective on the markets. Sunil Rohokale, thanks very much for joining us with your take. I want to start by understanding, Sunil, how are you looking at the earnings profile thus far? Because year-on-year earnings growth has been very robust in India, which is supporting the valuations that the Indian markets are quoting at right now, justifying those valuations.
Yeah, good morning, Tanvi. I think it's a pleasure to be on this show today. Indian markets has always been quite resilient because it is largely driven by the economic growth. And we all know that India is the bellwether of the growth of the global economy. Last year, we grown at 8.2%. This year, we are likely to be around 7.25% by different various estimates. So the companies have done quite well. The earnings are actually translating into a price. The large part of the market, the Nifty market, has done decently well, and it is actually tracking the 10-year average of earnings and the multiples, correct? So basically, if your 10-year multiple is around 20 and a half, the large market like Nifty is tracking exactly like that. The pocket like mid cap, which is finding little overheated, where it is actually running premium to the 10-year averages by almost 40–50%. And same is the story with the small cap. So barring the small cap and the mid cap, and there is a section of companies which are actually led by capex and led by government-owned initiatives like defense, the railways, and some of these public sector enterprises and the power financiers, where one would see they have really ran ahead of their fundamentals. We need to watch whether the reversal of the mean is going to be gradual or it is going to be little more erratic. So I think overall, the market is quite stable, looking very promising. And this year as well, the way the year is panned out, monsoon is quite good. It looked like that we would track the trajectory of 14–15% of earning, which will translate into the market delivering the similar kind of returns for the large part of the market as well.
So you expect 14–15% annual returns from the market from here on still, when the market has already done, I think, about 10% so far into the first half of this calendar year?
The market is actually not really looking at today's market is already part of it. Enthusiasm is already priced in. And you know, the budget announcement this year also have created some amount of dissatisfaction among the equity investors by virtue of the capital gain. But though the market is resilient and market has not really translated into a big volatility, which otherwise would have expected by virtue of simply taking away some of these capital gain and indexation benefit to even real estate asset class. So we feel that part of the market enthusiasm is already priced in, but the market here on probably will track the earning growth of the underlying companies. And that's where we think that this year, the companies will track around 14–15%.
Sure.
That will translate into the market. Yeah.
Sunil, we have 1 minute to wrap up this interview. So very quickly, we talk so much about private banks. We talk about IT names in India, as also the consumption story. One untapped, undervalued sector that you would perhaps urge investors to look at in India right now.
India is a growth economy. Everything is priced well. It is one has to adjust to the growth and look at the investment part. We feel that with the current budget, the direction which is the capex led, which is manufacturing led, the real estate and allied industries related, energy transition, some of the consumption related stocks has taken a pause, which will come back, and same is the financial services. So this is the sectors where probably one should focus more on in this financial year, where to get little risk adjusted above average returns. And this is the sectors which are going to get benefited the most by the growth of the economy and the budget impetus as well.
Sunil, thank you very much for joining us and giving us your perspective on the Indian market. That is Sunil Rohokale from ASK Asset and Wealth Management Group. That does it then on this edition of Street Science. Have a lovely Friday. Have a lovely weekend. We'll see you same time, same place, Monday morning.